been said, in any given moment, we have two options. We can step forward into growth, or we can step back into safety. So this is part 2. If you saw the video last week, I kind of talked about changes and just a general discussion of dealing with change in life. And I really brought out the idea to consider that change is inevitable and ultimately for our good. And this week we're going to zoom in a little bit and talk about change specifically within real estate. There are often headlines or social media posts about things changing. And those changes in real estate oftentimes look like a town that is experiencing lots of growth, or maybe an area of a city that is considering doing some things to try to bring in some more business. Those stories almost always have two parts of the conversation. One side is generally opposed to these changes, and part of the reasons that they're opposed to it is they don't like what they think that these changes might bring about, whether that be increased traffic or just increasing the population of their city. And I can sympathize with that a little bit. Some of you know, and many of you don't. I actually started out in Republic, so I knew Republic way before it was what it is now, when it still had that really small town feel. And the other side of the conversation is oftentimes city leaders or business leaders who understandably are trying to bring growth to that area because they see that as an opportunity, and that's what they do. They help things to grow. So that is the direction that they are proposing to go. It's important to note that these leaders are also citizens and members of these communities. So they are in it with you, just like you. They just happen to believe that this is best for the community. Now, whether you're in favor of changes or not in favor of changes, you should know that I try to stay informed on what's going on in communities so that I can help you when it comes time to either move into a community, or maybe you don't necessarily like what's going on and for whatever reason you're choosing to move out of that community. Here's where all this lands. The last 2 weeks of conversation, here's my takeaway. I'd be happy to hear your input. I believe that change ultimately is going to happen, and change we should make work for our own good, specifically within real estate. If businesses are not coming in, if things are not changing, if there's not improvement there, then it's my opinion that it's going to slowly decline. It's been said that if a business isn't growing, that it's dying. I would say that there's some parallels for that in real estate world. Andy Sim with Property Guru, that idea is probably nothing new. You've heard me talk about some areas that are experiencing growth and areas that I believe will continue to experience growth in the coming years. And in general, I've had a attitude of that is positive and helpful. Always happy to have discussions, entertain questions, send them my way.